Hi guys, welcome to another weekly reading. I'm very happy to be using my amazing new Dali deck. I cannot wait to start using this. This is going to be my inaugural use. So I've done a really good mix. I've done a really good shuffle. I put them out on the table and swished them around a couple of times, shuffled them a couple of times. So they are well mixed and they are ready to go. So I'm going to be drawing 3 cards that will represent the energy surrounding us for the upcoming week. Anything we may need to pay attention to, anything that may arise, anything we may need to be aware of will come up in this reading. So I hope you guys are all doing very well. Okay, all right. I think we got a good mix here. So let's get started. Let's pick card number 1. Okay, there's card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 2 and card number 3. Okay. All right. So let's see what Mr. Dali has for us. We've got the Fool. Wow. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay. So we've got 2 major arcana this week. So this is going to be a major week. A week with some major themes going on, some major life processes going on. One of them is upright, one of them is in the reverse, and then we've got the Page of Wands. Okay, so let's go through each one of these, and I have my book handy, since it is my first time using them, and in case I'm having trouble deciphering some of what's in these cards, I just thought I would have the book handy. Okay. So the general meaning for the Fool, as I'm sure many of you know, is the idea of starting out on a journey. The Fool is an adventurer. The Fool is somebody who is just chock full of optimism and adventure and energy and perhaps naivete. That is the Fool's downfall, is the lack of experience, lack of life experience. But his strength is, or her strength is, that he or she has just so much energy and so much drive to get out there and do something new. And maybe even do it, you know, against other people's recommendations, against other people's advice. El loco, right? A lot of people might say, you're crazy. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to get out there and do something so nuts? But you just feel driven. You feel driven by some inner force, something maybe even you can't explain. Okay? But the Fool is somebody who just is just so eager to get out and do something and try something new, and doesn't even consider, you know, the possibility of failing. And even if he does, it's like, who cares? You know, I'm doing this for the experience, you know, no matter what happens, it can't go wrong. It kind of reminds me of like when you're a teenager and you fall in love for the first time and you think that you're going to be together forever. It's that kind of energy. It's that kind of like unquestioning faith and unquestioning belief in yourself that just makes you feel so certain that something is going to go right. You know, that you don't even think twice about it. You just throw yourself into it head first. That's what the Fool is about, okay? So let me just look at this card. I'll come in closer so you can see the image too. I've got a butterfly on top of his head here. There's a lot of butterflies in this Dali deck. Another butterfly here. So just getting ready to spread your wings and fly. Now we have this figure in red on the left with this kind of looks like a bit diabolical here. So, you know, this could be his shadow side. This could be, you know, that side that's kind of waiting to swallow him up and kick his ass, you know. Let me just refer to the book just out of curiosity because I'm really interested to see what it will say. Okay, just bear with me for a second here. Oh, there's my cat, George. George, yo. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. George is a tarot cat. Okay. So here's what it says about the Fool. 0 or the missing number stands for nothing. It warns you against living a meaningless life. Seen from another angle, the 0 point defines your personal starting point, the site of unity within yourself at the very core of your being. Like the initial point of a coordinate system, this card represents the beginning of everything that makes up an individual. To look into the future with courage implies charting your own course, not least when all role models have failed you and you are forced to act into the blue without any prior support. The more unusual your path, the more panic you will experience if you have to go down it. Pan in Greek means all. Therefore, panic means all at once. The more room you give the Fool in your life, the easier it will be to get used to accepting yourself, God, and the world as they are, as the supplicant saint in the picture demonstrates. In this way, everything you know takes on a special importance in your life, when the time is right. Look at the shadowy figure by the wayside. It could represent your second self that you desperately feel the need and long for. Do not take lightly the feeling that you are missing out on something. The fulfillment of these desires and the banishment of deep-seated fears are a priority. The Fool represents a state of unadulterated bliss. So yeah, it's all about just throwing yourself out there, you know, even in the face of, you know, fear and uncertainty and doubt and all that. And this figure here is representing his real self, you know, the one that's urging him to get out there and do it. So this week could see you, you know, doing something really out of character, or wanting to do something really out of character, or something coming up that presents you the opportunity to do something out of character, you know. And remember, this card is in the upright, so don't dismiss it, you know. Don't dismiss it and just say no, 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 no. Don't fall into the trap of habitual practicality, okay? Sometimes it is worth taking a risk, and the Fool is about taking a risk. It's about doing something unexpected, something that, you know, you wouldn't ordinarily think you would do, or other people wouldn't ordinarily think you would do, okay? So, you know, think long and hard about it. Obviously, you don't want to be reckless and do something that you know is going to be stupid, but there could be something coming up this week that makes you want to go down a path you may not have tread before. And so this should be interesting. Okay, so we also have the Wheel of Fortune, and this card is in the reverse. Now, when this card is upright, it generally means good fortune, okay? So by being in the reverse, it could mean that, you know, maybe we encounter some obstacles this week, okay? The Wheel of Fortune is all about the wheel of life. It's about the objectivity of the universe, okay? Sometimes life goes well for us, sometimes life goes badly for us, and sometimes it's just in the middle where things are just kind of, you know, neutral. You know, you're not feeling great, you're not feeling terrible, you're just maybe kind of bored, or feeling like things are not really that much is happening. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is about, okay? And it's really all about how this happens to all of us, you know, like life goes in cycles, you know, like the moon cycles, right? We had a beautiful blue moon, our blue moon this weekend, right? You know, everything goes in cycles. It's part of nature. It's the way the world works. It's the way the universe works. So if you find that things aren't going your way this week, as indicated by the reversal here, you know, don't take it personally. Try not to get too caught up in negativity and negative thinking. Don't let it throw you off this sense of adventure that you have with the Fool showing up here. Don't let it jade you. Don't let it make you cynical and doubtful and what's the word I'm looking for? Jaded. That's the one that comes to mind. Don't let you know, trivial stuff that is not going your way, little minuscule stuff, you know, don't let that irritate you, and don't let it get under your skin too much, and don't let it you know, affect your decision making, okay? Just kind of try to take it in stride and realize that the wheel turns. It's always turning, and things will come around. You know, things will start going your way again if they are not right now, okay? Now, since I referred to the book for the Fool, why not refer to it for the Wheel of Fortune? I just want to see what it says here. I love these descriptions here are very, very well written. They are amazing. Okay, so for the Wheel of Fortune, it says, If you submit yourself to the hands of fate, your individual life will be enriched with universal components. You only live twice. Do not exhaust your energy by simply trying to get by. Your life is meant to be much more than plain day-to-day survival or a heroic struggle for existence. The picture shows the zodiac, reminding us of a witchboard. Outside the circle, the 5 figures can be seen based on well-known descriptions of the 4 evangelists and also representing the 4 elements earth, air, fire, and water. On top of the wheel, there is an oriental man holding a scimitar. The disc in the middle is divided into 2 parts, indicating human consciousness and the unconscious mind. Both parts of the image complement each other, but differences are also apparent. The lower section is full of symbols and signs, while the upper area is empty. This might suggest that the messages of the unconscious are conveyed through symbols alone. The Greek word symbol, in a general sense, means that which has been thrown together, an appropriate concept for this card. The wholeness of the self can only be achieved by uniting consciousness and the unconscious mind. If the individual is reconciled with his destiny, he will be in harmony with the world and experience synchronicity and resonance. Right, so what stood out to me in this description was your life is meant to be much more than plain day-to-day survival or a heroic struggle for existence, which is exactly what the Fool is trying to escape. Okay, he doesn't want a mundane, boring day-to-day existence. He wants adventure. He wants meaning. He wants to feel fully alive. He wants to experience all that there is to experience. And, you know, if you're feeling that you're being stuck, if you're being prevented from doing what you want this week, realize that it's only going to be temporary. It's not going to last forever, and the wheel will come around and change for you, okay? Now, lastly, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. And pages are court cards, and they are said to be young energies. They're said often to represent children or very, very young teens, although, of course, this is not an age, you know, this doesn't mean for sure this is, you know, only related to this age. It's the energy of the card. It's a very young energy. It's a very vibrant energy. It's a kind of apprentice type of energy. Okay, and wands are all about passion. Wands are all about creativity. Wands are all about inspiration. They're all about excitement. They're about getting out there and doing things. And again, we got a reversal here. So this is being blocked. This is being blocked, and I'm thinking that because this Wheel of Fortune card is in the reverse, we may be allowing ourselves, we may be allowing like the sort of everyday stuff that really doesn't matter that much in the big picture get to us and prevent us from doing stuff. We're allowing stuff to make us cynical, and we're allowing stuff to you know, affect our sense of joie de vivre of the Fool, okay, who wants to get out there, who wants to do things, who wants to have faith, you know, a sort of childlike faith, and, you know, just not be afraid of anything, not be afraid to go out there and do anything, meet anyone, whatever. And, you know, we really feel this energy calling us, but it's being blocked this week. We are letting it block us, okay? Once again, let me refer to the book and see what it says for the Page of Wands. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, just one sec. Okay, so for the Page of Wands, it says, only on this card is the central figure totally enveloped in his own aura from head to foot. This has a double meaning. The Page of Wands, in other decks also Knave or Princess, is totally immersed in his own concerns. He surrenders to his flame and his passion unconditionally, and is always full of enthusiasm, like the Fool, or sounds just like the Fool. At the same time, the card counsels us to be aware of the limitations of our perceptions, because we are absorbed in our own world. Okay, so it's leading me to think that we're being absorbed in these, you know, blockages that are happening. The snake-like or butterfly-like drawings around the central figure alert us to our much greater potential. Our zest for action and desire to develop urge us on to reach beyond our boundaries now. In relation to our motivational forces, the scope of our actual experience is relatively small. This is a danger, but also an opportunity. Beware of naive inactivity as well as of effusive zeal. We once entered this life full of the will to survive, to grow, and to express ourselves. We can harness this zeal now to explore the world thoroughly, greeting each success or failure as a new experience. If we welcome ordeals of fire and recognize them as a form of inner purification, we will find ourselves enriched by these lessons. Our ability always to go beyond ourselves gives us renewed strength and replenishes our youthful vitality. So this really, really sounds to me like a duplicate of the Fool, only this is a minor arcana card. So it's kind of like a muted version of the Fool. So what it's leading me to believe in this reading is that we start out the week full of this incredible energy of the Fool, okay? And by the time we get to the end of the week, it's really kind of diminished. It's really kind of diminished and muted a little bit, and it has turned in on itself, okay? So things may occur this week that kind of mess up this beautiful energy that we have to start off the week. Okay, so I think it's very, very important for us this week to stay focused and realize that, you know, shit happens, okay? Big and small, whether big things happen or small things happen, just things happen to kind of throw us off course and misdirect us from our ideals and from where we want to go and what we want to do, okay? So I think the task is just to try and kind of center yourself and ground yourself when you encounter these blockages and realize that, you know, you're not always going to feel irritated. You're not always going to feel like things are working against you, okay? And again, what it was saying in the book about this card has the naivete, but also the, you know, this guy is so wrapped up in himself. He's so full of himself. Sometimes he's too confident, right? Sometimes he can be reckless. So again, there's that danger as well of not paying attention to your gut, not paying attention to your inner instincts. You know, you may want to get out there and do something and do it against your better judgment. So you have to kind of have a balance, okay? You have to have a balance between this real, raw, strong, you know, just burning energy of the Fool, and, you know, you also have to keep a measure of perspective as well, okay? So let me just look at all these cards again. Wow, this deck is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. This could also be somebody that we encounter this week who, you know, kind of negatively affects us. Somebody who could be younger, could be a younger person, could be a child, could be, maybe you're having, you know, problems with your kid. Maybe your kid is just driving you crazy. And, you know, you want to get out there and you want to get out there and do stuff, but you can't because your kid is just causing all these problems and you've got to attend to it. You know, you've got to, you know, your kids come first, right? When they're younger. And, you know, as adults, we have to set, you know, a lot of our aspirations aside sometimes because of our kids, right? So it could be a child kind of, you know, causing some disruption this week. And also just like, I'm getting like, you know, just petty stuff that gets in and, you know, just messes up that beautiful energy of the Fool. You know, we want to get out there and do stuff, but we feel prevented. You know, we feel kind of like our hands are tied and it's frustrating, you know, and then we've got, you know, mundane, everyday stuff to deal with. And it does get in the way. It does get in the way, but we have to realize that, you know, sooner or later things are going to come around and you are going to be able to do what you want to do, okay? Sooner or later, there's going to be a window. There's going to be a window of opportunity coming in that allows you to get out there and do what you want to do, okay? So I'm sensing a week both of great energy and some frustration here. And so my advice is to just kind of take it in stride, okay? Don't let it frustrate you too much and don't let it jade you and don't let it make you feel like, you know, you have to sacrifice your dreams and your ideals forever, because you don't, okay? Sooner or later, there is going to be a time you know, that you're going to be able to do what you want to do. Okay. And it might not be now, might not be this week, you know, might not be this month, whatever. But, you know, it is going to come around, and you're going to know when. You're going to know when you're going to know when the time is right. And then you can take this energy and, you know, manifest it to the fullest. But, you know, just kind of enjoy whatever ideas come to you this week. And again, keep an eye out for some kind of opportunity that, you know, you may not, that just comes out of nowhere, that you would ordinarily like never ever even consider, you know, and just think about it, because it may be something viable. You know, sometimes risk is worth it. Sometimes risk is, you know, well taken. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my inaugural use of my Dali deck here. I know I did. And yeah, I just love it. I just love this deck. I'm going to be using it a lot. So anyways, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Please go on over and check out my website. I will link it below. If you're interested in getting a personal private reading from me, you can go on over and check out my services, the kind of readings that I do. They're all very affordable. So I would love to work with you. And thank you very, very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you again soon. As I said, I have a deck review coming up this week, so stay tuned for that. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.